Do not attempt to adjust your device screen. We are in control of the broadcast. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. The time has come. Please stand by for a live transmission from Halloween Daily News. Yes, 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 the time has come. You know what time it is, everybody. Light up those pumpkins because we are live and it is Monday night. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Hello, Haddonfield, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this lively, undead, live scream that you just found yourself in the middle of is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly gathering, hangout, and just general geek out fest with the greatest fan community and all of the internet celebrating the most hallowed of all horror franchises, of course, the Halloween franchise, and celebrating all things Michael Myers. And so if you're new here, welcome. And to everybody else, what's up, y'all? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome. You made it. You made it through another week. You made it through another Monday. We all did it together. And like I always say, that in itself is reason to celebrate tonight. So happy Michael Myers Monday. And we are celebrating big time because it is Monday night, September 16th, 2024, and the Halloween season is in full swing, if you haven't noticed. And we have a very special, illustrious guest joining us in just a couple minutes. Our friend, Mr. Christopher Nelson, is here tonight. He's going to be hanging out. He's going to be taking your questions, maybe a couple of mine, as well. And yeah, we're going to be talking Michael Myers and the recent trilogy and just everything else that he's up to right now. So we're going to bring Christopher in just a minute. I want to say what's up to everybody lighting it up in the live chat here early this evening. Some of our own illustrious channel members like Andromeda and Rob Windsor are in the house. Of course, our moderator David Suber here as well. Michael Horan, Phil is here. Teen Wolf, of course. Darlene, what's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. City Kitty, thank you. I appreciate the retweets today. I appreciate you. Josh Baker's here. Who else? Illustrious channel member Brett Patrick. What's up, man? Big Rick is here as well. Awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I saw Megan in here earlier. Halloween vibes. What's up, Josh? Tim is here. Keep It Creepy's here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Pat Ring, that Halloween movie collector, another channel member, Fall Guy. Awesome. All right, so we got a good group lighting it up here in the live chat. Mandy, Darth Guyver. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, good. We got a good group filtering in here. And again, slight apologies for not a bigger notice about this landmark episode here this evening. But it literally just kind of came together somewhat at the last minute, and we are very thankful that we were able to put it together and that Christopher is going to be here with us tonight. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to bring him in here. Before I do that, just a couple quick things to get out the way I want to say before I forget. And just so you know, our relatively normal format, we're not going to really follow that tonight as we do when we have live guests here from time to time on Michael Myers Monday. It's all about them this evening. And as you might know, it's not exactly every week that we have an Oscar winner and an Emmy winner here. So this is a big deal for me, and it should be for all of you guys. Real quick, though, I do hope that you checked out my recent interview with Candace Rose, who worked with Christopher and everybody in Halloween Ends. That's here on the channel. We've also got it up on the Halloween Daily podcast if you want to listen on the go. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, Terrifier Tuesday, I've got another exclusive interview dropping with Terrifier 3 producer and stream director Michael Levy. I hope you'll check that one out. He also did the Halloween 60 parody trailer from back around 2018. If you remember that, we talk about all of that in the interview as well, and it's a good time. Oh, I did want to also tell you, again, I'm going to do a proper show and tell with this eventually, but I did land a new piece to the collection just over the weekend. You might recall I had let you guys know that we were going to be on the road heading up to Williamsburg, Virginia for their haunt event, Hallow Scream. This is their 25th anniversary year, and they were awesome enough to invite us up there for media night on Friday the 13th, and it was great, and we had a blast. I just posted our complete report, including walkthroughs of all the haunted houses and scare zones and all that good stuff, just earlier this morning. So that's also available right now here on the channel. So while I was on our way home, I did have to swing into a different Spirit Halloween location. This is one that I had never actually been to in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And why am I holding that cricket? They had this bad boy, the Halloween 2 poster pumpkin replica, $45. And for those of you keeping track, yes, this is the first purchase I used with that Spirit gift card that they surprised us with, which I, again, feel so fortunate and appreciate. And shout out and thanks to Spirit for that, because they've never done that before. And we are putting it to good use. I'm trying to turn him on. There he is. There we go. I was trying to do that for a few minutes. We're off to a good start here tonight. But there he is. I think he looks great. I'm very happy with this guy. I love how the light fades in and out, like a flickering candle, more or less. It looks great in the dark. It also looks great when it's unlit, just with, just the black behind the eyes, nose, and mouth. Um, Again, I think this is just a really cool piece to add to my collection, my collector's shelf. You do have the Halloween 2 title here on the back, which, I mean, if it was up to me, I don't think that's really necessary. I don't need it. But then again, I mean, I can't really think of any scenario where I'm going to be displaying it other than with this being the visible side. So it doesn't really affect me too much one way or the other. Um, as you know, these have been sold out for quite some time on spirithalloween.com and kind of have become an early hot commodity for 2024 at the physical stores. And I'm going to hit refresh over here. But last we checked, and shout out to our buddy David Suber here in the live chat. But last we checked, the this prop was back in stock online at spirithalloween.com. And yeah, David gave me the heads up on Saturday that they had them in stock for a few hours anyway, and then they went out of stock. But Saturday was actually the day that I grabbed this in person. But I just hit the refresh, and heads up, if you haven't snagged yours and can't get out to a physical store, don't want to brave the wild, which I understand, they're back in stock right now online, spirithalloween.com, and I have included the affiliate link to get yours, $45 shipping right now immediately. And I put that in the description of this video. But yeah, I just think this is a fun, cool prop. A little bit smaller. When I saw it in person, for some reason, it was a little bit smaller than I was envisioning. But still, it was actually heavier than I was envisioning, too. I was picturing more of like a blow mold type. But this is more like a ceramic kind of heavy duty. So it's pretty badass. All right, so that's this week's show and tell and your heads up that they are back in stock online, at least as of right this minute. All right. Now, we are going to get ready to bring Christopher in here in just a minute. And we are going to talk about a number of things, and not the least of which will be that we are going to be taking your questions here this evening. And of course, I'll have some of mine to get us rolling here. Let's see what you guys are saying. Andromeda needs that pumpkin, wants to put a Michael figure sitting on top, like sitting on the great pumpkin, kind of. Young Major has checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Appreciate you being here. One of the things I will be mentioning to Christopher, and hopefully we can get a small preview about, will be that we got the press release just a few hours ago, actually, that there's a new Ice Nine Kills song that has been crafted specifically for the Terrifier 3 soundtrack. It's called A Work of Art. And the video, the music video, is 7 minutes long, and it's going to premiere this Thursday at a festival where the film is actually going to world premiere. And it's also going to be playing in some AMC theaters, apparently, with the film. But Christopher worked on that video. He did the special effects. And so we're going to talk just a little bit about that as well. And get his thoughts on working with our friend David Howard Thornton, who of course plays Art the Clown, and of course Ice Nine Kills. I don't know if you guys are fans of them, but I'm a big fan. I love all their stuff, but of course they've got a great Michael Myers song, and they've done musical tributes to pretty much all of the major horror franchises. So the fact that they're getting around to Art the Clown now, yeah, it's not not too incredibly surprising to me. Oh, Christopher needs the link. Okay, all right. Let me shoot that over to you right now. Sorry about that. Let me just copy. Yeah, there we go. And then once Christopher checks in the virtual waiting room here, then you guys know what will be how it goes. We'll play just a very short pre-recorded video urging you to consider buying some HDN merch. Spoiler alert. And then there might just be a minute or two of standby um, while I bring Christopher in here, and then we'll come back and we'll both be live together. And like I said, we'll probably go a similar format to how we did with our previous guests. I'll ask a couple questions here in the beginning to get us going, and then I will open it up to you guys. But I would urge you not to start. Be thinking of your questions, have them ready to go, but don't be putting them in the live chat right now, because by the time we get to that point, I might not see them right away. All right, so I am going to shoot this link over to Christopher right now. There we go. All right, you should have that now. And again, we are live, so if there's any glitches or anything, like you see me scrambling over here because my monitor's actually been glitching on and off throughout the day today, fittingly enough, right? Just another Monday, right? But it's Michael Myers Monday, so it doesn't get much better, right? But in any case, that's what's going on here, or might be. So don't mind me. Now, another thing that I am going to mention a little bit later, and we'll ask Christopher his opinion on it once he gets in here. But since our last live stream a week ago, we did have that some breaking news, some pretty significant breaking news regarding this franchise, and it's more video game news. If you'll recall, right at the end of last week's live stream, there was one of you actually gave us the heads up that that the official Halloween movies during our stream had posted that basically there was going to be some kind of breaking news announcement the following morning on Tuesday. And sure enough, when the time came, it did break, and it's that Michael Myers is back in the world of Call of Duty for their Halloween event. It's called The Haunting, and it actually launches in 2 days, and this coming Wednesday on the 18th. And it's not just Michael Myers. Speaking of Art the Clown, he's in there too, and our boy Sam from Trick or Treat's in there. It all sounds awesome, and we're going to be covering that on launch on Wednesday. They've actually hooked us up with a copy, and we're going to be digging into it. It'll probably mostly be my son playing because he's much more familiar with Call of Duty. But we're going to be able to share some gameplay footage with you guys and all that good stuff. And that'll be coming your way very soon. Andromeda says, "Great kill shirt, thank you." Is it possible you're not driving this evening? We always hear that you're in the middle of driving during the Triple M show. What's up, Soul Slasher? But we do have the full press release about the Call of Duty announcement that did drop on Tuesday, and Michael is going to be an operator. This is for Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, and is the Season 6 Halloween event called The Haunting. And they released an official trailer as well as a bunch of stills. And here you can see, well, let me pull this up for you guys. Well, there's all three of those badass horror icons together, like they're going to appear in Call of Duty. And you might remember it was a decade ago when Michael last was featured in Call of Duty in a Ghosts DLC. There is also this badass still paying homage to the 78 classic, of course. All right, guys, give me just 1 second. Hey, everybody, I want to remind you that we have official merch. That's right. Now available in the HDN Spring Store. You can show your love for Halloween every day, all year round, with official Halloween Daily News t-shirts. Many different designs are available, many different styles, colors, all sizes, including the original HDN Classic, our special Triple M crew design for the Michael Myers Monday regulars out there, and our brand new What Would John Carpenter Do design. All of these are available, like I said, multiple sizes, colors, and styles on t-shirts. And that's not all. We've got other merch available like mugs and stickers and lots of other cool stuff. Check it out now at the merch link in the description. All right, we are back live now. And as you can see, we have an illustrious guest that has joined us this evening. It is my great pleasure to welcome special effects makeup artist, Oscar-winning and Emmy-winning artist, Christopher Nelson. Welcome to Halloween Daily. Welcome back to Halloween Daily in a way, because we did do this once upon a time over the phone and in a different format, but here we are. It's live. It's Michael Myers Monday, and we got the Michael Myers faithful and fanatical alike here with us tonight. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Good to see you. Well, see you. But I'm glad you're out there. I'm glad someone's watching, and I hope everyone's being cool and being kind with each other. And we're all here to hang out and have some fun. I hope you got your pizza or your beer or your drink or your soda or
That's
your
right.
water, whatever the hell it is you're into.
That's right.
And we're all hanging out, man. So thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, and you know, I've wanted to do this for a while, and you're always busy, and every time we get close to maybe setting a date, then you'd have another project, but that's good. You're in demand, and we
Yeah.
get to see more of your work, so that's always exciting, knowing that that's happening as well. So I'm just stoked that we can make it happen, and as we're here, like I said, it's Monday night. It's Michael Myers Monday, September 16th. And now we just had Friday the 13th, and it feels like, the weather's finally starting to cool a tiny bit, maybe a little bit. But it's starting to feel like the Halloween season for people outside the Halloween daily sphere, where it's every day anyway. They're
Right.
they're starting to get into the fact that it's Halloween time.
Yeah,
So,
get in the mood. Yeah. Well, it's funny here in Southern California. It was last week. It was 110 degrees, and now today it was 76. But on
okay, that's a
Sunday,
lot better.
it's going to get back up to 90 again on Sunday. So it's going to get hot again. We always do this, it's schizophrenic here, the weather in Southern California. But I've been enjoying the last week of cooler weather, and the leaves are starting to fall a little bit, and I'm ready. I'm ready for fall, man. I'm sick of the 100 and something degree weather, man. I'm done. I'm
I,
done with it.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I'm all about fall and Halloween and I know
Oh,
you are too. I know
yeah,
you are just big into just Halloween itself, the holiday,
yeah.
like we are, and I know this partly from just following you on social media, but also when we did talk in our first interview, which was way back in early 2018. But you
Oh,
gave me one of my favorite quotes. I'm just going to read one sentence, but it was we were talking about Halloween and I always like to ask about growing up. Did you celebrate? And do you have warm, fuzzy memories and all that stuff? It's kind of our way into people's origin story, a flashback to Halloween's past. And one of your quotes in that 2018 um, interview, you said, Halloween was my Christmas and movies were my church.
did I say that?
You said that.
It's true. It's still true to this day, man. Still true to this day.
I love
56.
it.
I just turned 56 last month,
Oh, man.
and it's
Nice.
still true today. Both those facts. They're facts.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And like you said, it is as true today as it was. You were talking about growing up in that quote, and today, like you're saying, it's still just as true. Both in both cases. That so how is your Halloween going so far? I know it's still kind of early, but I know you're like us. You like to start getting decorated early and all that stuff. Are you getting into Halloween 2024 as we
I
speak?
am. I actually just went today to my storage unit to start pulling out my Halloween decorations. I'm probably gonna decorate tomorrow. It takes me usually a couple days to get all my decorations up, so I'm gonna start decorating this week. I'm super excited about it, and I have lots of cool stuff to put out in the yard, and the inside of my house always ends up looking like Halloween threw up all over it. It's like I got shit everywhere, man. I got like so much Halloween stuff, and I just went and bought some more. So I love Halloween, man. It's my Christmas. This is it. This is you got to celebrate, right? And every year it feels like it gets a little earlier and earlier, like and I
It
love that.
does.
I love that. I love that it gets earlier. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I don't want Thanksgiving to creep up already, and I don't want Christmas to creep up already, but Halloween can creep up all at once.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, they can all stay in after October 31st. But yeah, Halloween can
Exactly.
start as early as it wants. There's no such thing as
Exactly.
too early for
Exactly.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there, and I love to see it every year. And you're right, it's not your imagination. It's literally every year. I mean, we cover the industry, and whether it's Home Depot or Spirit, I mean, they're putting their merch out earlier. They're launching their online sales earlier than it. Like every year, it's like they're earlier by a couple weeks. It's
Yeah.
it's insane, but it's every day's Halloween. So like you, I am not complaining. I'm here for it.
Yeah. It's great. I love it. I love that Halloween is, the second biggest money making holiday to Christmas. And uh, but I think it should be number one. And I think it'll surpass it. I think it will. It's going to do it someday. So I'm excited about that.
I kind of think so too. I mean, because in a way, Halloween's kind of more universal in a way. Like,
Yeah.
for I don't know.
Well,
I mean, in a way,
I don't
but
know. I've been to other countries shooting films during Halloween, and there's no other country that's as big on Halloween as the States.
yeah,
This is the place to be for Halloween.
totally.
There are other countries that celebrate it in different ways and things like that, but we're the kings of Halloween, if you ask me.
Well, I think you're right, and whenever I get a chance to talk to people from that, grew up in other countries, and I'm always very curious, and I always ask them, what was Halloween like for you growing up, and what is it now over there, and like you said, I mean, nobody does it quite like America, but it is also fascinating when you think about the history. Not to get too far down this road, but the history of Halloween. I mean, all of America's traditions came from everybody else's, and we just kind of brought them all together into our Americanized Halloween, which I love. But
Yeah.
it was all, like, kind of almost everything could be found from some other culture along the way that we just kind of incorporated a
Sure.
little bit of all of it into our Halloween.
Well, we commercialized the hell out of it, like we
And
do with
that
every.
too. That
But
too, totally.
Halloween to me, Halloween to me when I was a kid wasn't about commercial. I grew up incredibly poor, like very, very, very poor, and I didn't have the money to go buy all the decorations and the toys and the masks and the things like that. I didn't have all that stuff. It was more of a feeling for me. It really was. It was. I was definitely 100% committed and felt the feeling of Halloween, once October hit and fall. And I grew up just outside of Pittsburgh, and we had a beautiful fall and a beautiful October. And I also had George Romero to lean on, but it was just such a feeling in the air. And trick or treating was it was an event. It was like a huge event. It's not an event anymore, I don't think, as much as it used to be. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not 12 years old or 10 years old, but it was such an event and such a feeling where you got together with your friends and dressed up. No matter what your budget was, you put a costume on, even if it was self-made, which most of mine were self-made.
Yeah.
And would just walk for miles. I would walk for miles getting candy and having fun and talking about movies and talking about horror and being scared about what's around the corner and what's behind the tree and what's in the bushes. And it was just such a great feeling. And I don't know why I gravitated to that more than anything else. I just did. It's just in my nature. So I love this time of season, and I hope obviously everybody here does too, and it's cool. This is our time, man. The freaks get to shine right now, man.
That's right. Now, like you said, it's our time, and yeah, it's the best time.
Yeah.
Not like it's ever not Halloween time around here for us. We try to, but now even the calendar is starting to agree. Even other people that don't live and breathe it every single day are starting to say, okay, it's Halloween time. And
Yeah,
so
right.
yeah, it's definitely our time right now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I remember when we talked before, you talked a little bit then about how Halloween and just getting into the costumes and the makeup was kind of a very kind of early precursor almost to a passion of making monsters and kind of following that to LA eventually. And you don't have to go through the whole thing, but can you talk just a little bit about how that, that passion for Halloween at that young age was one of the very first things. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's what you told me before.
Yeah. No, yeah. You mean the movie Halloween or the holiday?
Like the holiday and just
Yeah.
celebrating the holiday. Yeah.
Yeah, again, I just gravitated towards it for whatever reason. Maybe it was because I was poor. Maybe it was because I spent a lot of time alone when I was a kid, and I had my imagination to feed off of.
Yes.
My babysitter, I didn't have babysitters or nannies or any of that shit. I had, a single parent that was a salesman who traveled a lot, and and I was left home a lot from a very young age. Like, you know, uh, social services would have had a field day with me. But I grew up watching movies. That was my babysitter. I would rush home from school every day and watch movies, and I'd watch movies until it was time to go to bed. And put myself to bed, and then I'd get up, and if there was a movie on before school, I would watch a movie before school. I was just driven by fantasy and entertainment and imagination, and it was everything to me. So once I found out that you could do that for a living, I did everything I could to make sure that happened. It was a hard road. I remember, and I've said this story before. I'm sorry if I've told it before, but I remember going to my guidance counselor in school and saying, I want to work in the movies. I want to make monsters. I want to make makeup effects. And he looked at me and shook his head and he said, that's not a real job. You can't do that. That's not a real job. And I never believed him. I just was so stubborn and so in my own head. And so, just in my own imagination that I just didn't believe him. So every year in the summer, I would come to visit. My mother lived in Los Angeles. My father lived in Pittsburgh, who I lived with. My mother lived here in Los Angeles, and every summer I would spend the summer in Los Angeles. And so the only thing I ever wanted to do was go to Universal Studios. That's the only thing I ever wanted to do. I didn't want to go to Disneyland. I didn't want to go to the beach. I didn't want to go. I wanted to go to Universal Studios. And I went to Universal Studios every summer and I loved it. And I told myself that someday I'm going to be working on Universal Studios someday. Someday this is where I want to work. Mm-hmm. And it was just, I just had blinders, man. I was just stubborn and had blinders and moved out here when I was 15 years old and on my own and just started working it, and trying to meet people in the business and everything. And I'd go to Universal Studios on the weekends and take the tram ride and do all the tours. And I just loved it so much. And so, oddly enough, a couple years ago, I think it was was it Halloween Ends or Halloween Kills? I can't remember, but I had a moment where it all kind of came full circle. I had worked on Universal Studios a lot over my career, mm-hmm. but this was the moment that really kind of hit me. Was a couple of years ago, I was doing Sean Penn's makeup for a limited series called Gaslit. And I had an early call. It was like a 4:00 in the morning call. And I drove to Universal Studios and I parked my car and I'm walking across the lot, the Universal Studios lot, which is a historic lot, So I'm walking across the lot and it's 4 a.m. and I'm thinking to myself, fuck, man, here I am. I'm on Universal Studios. I'm about to go do Sean Penn's makeup, and I look over, and there's a big billboard for Halloween, one of the Halloween movies. I can't remember if it was Ends or Kills. I think it might have been Kill. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But it was one of the Halloween movies that I had just done with my work on the poster. The mask is on the poster. Yeah. And here I am on Universal Studios lot after being that way as a kid. Mm-hmm. And I see my work on the poster on the Universal lot on the giant billboard. And I'm going to do Sean Penn's makeup. And it just all kind of came full circle. And I kind of got a little teary eyed. And I was like, this is it. I made it. Yeah. I made it. This is what I wanted to do. So it all ties into Halloween, man. It all ties into this holiday. I wouldn't be here without this holiday. And sorry, I went off there for a bit, but it all has to do with this holiday. I wouldn't be here without it. Yeah.
Well, of course I love hearing that, and I mean, like you said, you made it, and you didn't take no. And going back to that guidance counselor, I just think about that pivotal moment where you had the strength to ignore him and just not listen. Whereas some people that would be the end for them. They just take that and be like, oh well, I guess I'm not going to think about this anymore because that's how it goes. Yeah. But
don't ever let anybody tell you can't do something.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that. I'm living proof of that. I was told for years that I wouldn't be able to do what I do for a living. And don't ever let anybody tell you can't do something. You can do it, and don't measure your success on anything other than what makes you happy. That's it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say it any better than that. That's yeah, I think that's great advice. Um, like I said, the last time the last time we talked in person was in Pasadena at H45. We did bump into each other briefly there,
Yeah,
and we're able to hang out for a few minutes, which was awesome.
yeah,
And I think at H40 we connected for a few minutes as well. But our first conversation, if you remember, our history goes back to early 2018, and we did a phone interview, and and that was early days in all of this because you guys had really like just wrapped filming, um, and it was so like there no y'all hadn't even gone back for any reshoots yet or anything, and
right.
um, and we had this great interview, and I'm thinking about it today. I'm like, this is now 5.5 years later. I think 5.5. I think so. Is
Wow.
that right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and three movies, some world altering events along the way, maybe outside of movies, and
yeah,
just and when we had that conversation, it was just a cool interview. Getting to know you and getting hyped for the movie because there was just so much excitement at that moment because so little that we knew about, and
yeah.
nobody had seen it. We hadn't seen it, and now I'm like, I mean, I could go into so many specifics, and maybe we will with some of these, but I was thinking like, what is there one thing even that you could say has been the most surprising thing that you had no idea at 2018, like when we talked, like you had already done the movie, but you know, in that time since when the three movies released, and now here we are, everybody's had some time, a few years now to digest all of them, and is there? Can you tell us like one like the most surprising thing to you about this whole journey to and from Haddonfield for you?
Um, the most surprising thing. I think the first thing that comes to my mind is the level of passion that Halloween fans have for this franchise. Uh, that was surprising to me. I mean, I knew because I'm a Halloween fan, and I knew, I'm passionate about it, and I knew other people were too. But I didn't under I was surprised at the level of passion that fans have for this franchise,
Yeah.
and the level they had for the three movies that we did, like them or not. Uh, there was just such a tremendous amount of passion for it. That really surprised me. I was also surprised at the level of community around it as well. I mean, I knew, again, I'm not stupid. I know Halloween fans are rabid, but but the community was surprising, and I was surprised at how welcomed I was within into that community.
Mm-hmm.
You that was a really pleasant surprise,
Yeah.
and I love it, and I'm thankful that I did it. There were a lot of people that told me not to do the Halloween franchise, career wise, but I'm glad I did it. I don't regret it. I love it. I love all three movies, I think, and I think that was surprising. The other surprising thing was, of course, all the hubbub about the mask. It's like there's so much hubbub about the mask. The
Mm-hmm.
mask, the mask, the mask.
Yeah.
I did the best I could with the mask, and there are people that love it, and there are people that hate it, and there are people, but that's okay. Any art that you do is going to get both sides of that coin, and but that was surprising, the passion for the mask, and the amount of people that reach out to me to this day. I still get daily, people on a daily basis. I'll get a message or so on Instagram, especially, about the mask, questions about the mask, and will I make them a mask, and will I rehaul a mask, and what did I use on the mask, and how did I come up with them. You know, it's always something about the mask. So that's pretty cool. But to have that, whether people like it or not, or whether it goes down in history or not, you know, I have a very small part in the legacy of Halloween, and I'm really proud of that. And that's surprising to me. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, so I can't complain.
Yeah, yeah, and you say small. I mean, I'd say pretty significant. I think most people here would probably say pretty significant part in that legacy.
Oh, thanks.
Um, uh, just curious, going back to something you mentioned, that a lot of people tried to tell you not to take on that first Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was? Was it they were
Well,
feeling pressure for you, or I
no,
mean, why was it just?
well, I've always my career has always been based on what I want to do and
Yeah,
what's fun to me
yeah.
and what I'm interested in. I've never based my career on how to make the most money or the
Right.
highest caliber projects or uh, I always based it on what I'm interested in and what would be fun to me. I've done a lot of different things, and I've when I had just won the Oscar, you know, just shortly
Yeah.
before Halloween came into my life,
Hmm.
and that was one of the things was, you know, I remember Ryan Turek saying to me, you know, when I was talking to Ryan about it when it first came up in conversation, I was like, I have to do this Halloween movie. I got to do it.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? He goes, you just won an Oscar. We can't afford you. We can't, you know, why would you want to do that? You just won an Oscar. And it was like, because I love Halloween and I'm such a huge fan and that's what I want to do. I was never guided by status. I was always guided by, you know, what I want to do. And I wanted to do Halloween. And I had a lot of people in my peer group that told me not to do Halloween because it was considered lowbrow. You know, it's
Yeah.
considered a horror movie and it's a sequel and it's a or not a sequel but a reboot or whatever, you know, and it's a franchise and it, you know, all that stuff. There were so many reasons why people gave me not to do it, but I just wanted the shot. I wanted to bring it back.
Yeah.
I wanted an opportunity to uh, be a part of bringing it back to life, you know, and have fun. You know, it's supposed to be fun. This job's supposed to be fun. You know, it's not. It doesn't always have to be about business, man, and it doesn't always have to be about money. It doesn't always have to be about. It's supposed to be fun, and I wanted to have fun. I did all the big Marvel movies, and I did all the fucking, you know. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot.
That's all right.
I
That's
did
fine.
all the you know I've done so many different types of movies
Hmm.
and stuff, and I wanted to do this. I was just at a point where I went, man, and I remember saying this. I was on a Marvel movie. It might have been Avengers Endgame, and I was talking to a buddy of mine on the set, and he goes, "What do you want to do next?" And I go, "You know what I want to do? I want to do a slasher movie." And this is before Halloween ever came into my life. And I was like, I want to do a slasher movie. I miss that. I just
Hmm.
miss it. I don't know why, because I started off doing low budget horror and stuff like that. And I kind of missed it. And I wanted to do that. And then the ultimate slasher movie came into my life, Halloween, you know?
Yeah.
So, so that's kind of how it all happened. And I'm thankful I did it, man. I don't regret it one bit. Yeah. Does that
Well,
make
I
sense?
mean, go. What was that?
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, yeah. That that makes total sense. Yeah. No. And I wish more people would think like that, and just, and because obviously, if you're working from that place of passion and fun, and even like you say, then it's going to be better work almost always. I feel like.
Yeah, totally.
And I remember, in 2018 when that first poster came out, and it was our first look at the mask, just the profile, and it was just, I mean, I was blown away. I mean, in a good way. Like I was just, it was just, I couldn't stop looking at it. It was just because I think we had all just imagined, like, what is it going to be? What is it going to, like, what are they going to do? What is it? Because it's just always different and yet the same, but it's always, it's every movie, it's always
Yeah.
different. And but I loved it. I remember saying at the time it felt haunted to me almost.
Right. I was shocked when that mask was the poster. I had no idea. They didn't tell me. They didn't tell me that the mask was going to be the poster. No one told me. We just shot the movie, and then I was curious to wonder what the poster is going to be. And then when it came out, I was like, holy shit. I remember the morning it came out. And I was like, oh my God, I'm screwed. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get ripped apart online. I'm going to get ripped apart because of that mask being the poster. And I was proud of it and I was happy with it. And I thought it was cool. And, look, if somebody in a new generation or a younger generation or something wants to stare at that poster, man, then I did my job. You know what I mean? Like you sitting there saying, you loved it, you stared at it,
yeah,
that means a lot to me because I remember when I was young and was into movies and records and music and stuff, all I would do is stare at record covers, stare at movie posters, and I would just study them and stuff. So, if I have any thing to do with somebody else doing that, man, I did my job right. And I'm happy about that. That makes me happy that you said that. That's great, And I love the Halloween Kills poster. I thought the Halloween Kills poster is amazing. I thought it was fantastic. I wasn't thrilled with the Halloween Ends poster, but I thought the Halloween Ends poster should have been dead on, like straight on. Because you had the one side of the Halloween 2018, you had the other side of Kills. I thought it should have been straight on but I don't know why they did what they did, but I have nothing to do with that. But I'm super proud that I have, 3 posters with my shit on it, man. That's pretty great.
I think you're right. A straight on one for Ends would have been the perfect third one. But yeah, and just on the poster, just again, I was kind of a bold marketing decision, to put the mask right out there. But I think, because I wasn't expecting it, but then at the same time, it's like, well, that's kind of the best thing. Like, go ahead and just put it out there, and that way, there it is. Michael's back. Like that's what and let the world talk about it. And even if there's some negative talk, everybody's gonna be talking about it, and it's gonna be But I still think that was a bold move for this comeback movie to go right out there and be like, boom, here it is. Here's a look at the mask, right up close, real detailed. Yeah. I think
that was really ballsy to do. I thought it was very and I think that's the thing that everybody wanted to know. I mean, that was the main thing, right? I mean, was what's the fucking mask look like? And we worked really hard to make sure that it was going to be something that people would like, or that it would that it would work. It doesn't work without that mask. We all know that. As Halloween fans, we all know it doesn't work unless the mask is right. And whether I got it right or not, there are people that'll argue that. But there are a lot of different ways we could have gone, and there were a lot of different ways that I did go with the mask. There are reasons why the mask looks like it looks like it's all very calculated. It's not hey, look at that. It's not that flippant. It's very calculated, and there's reasons why we went the direction that we went in. But the main point was to get it at least close or that silhouette. You know, it was about the silhouette, and it was about the expression in the silhouette. And as long as we got that right, you know, in the basic form of it, you know, we knew we would be okay. So we worked really hard on that, and I think I'm proud of it. I'm very proud of that mask, and I'm proud of all three masks.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think they're all really nice masks. Could I have gone, and including the flashback mask? I'm proud of that mask too. You know, could we have really? I mean, you know, could we have done a version of what the mask looks like now? You know, what the real mask looks like now? Yeah, we could have done that. But you have to think cinematically, and you have to think, you know, contextually, and we visited that, and we talked about it, and we thought about it, and we just felt that, you know, it wouldn't work for what the context of the movie that we were trying to do. So so we didn't go that route. So all you know, all avenues were approached when it came to the mask.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure. And yeah, we've talked before, and I've talked to James in past conversations about what it was like when the mask first arrived on set and when he first put it on, and all of you guys, David and everybody, was just kind of this moment, and James has described it from his point of view. And of course, we got that as fans. You know, we got it a little bit with the poster, and then, you know, there's when the movie was finally out. I just remember sitting in there, and it was also cool because we got that poster, and really the movie before it was really leaked. I feel like, I don't think any images of the mask leaked ahead of
No,
time. Amazingly, I don't know
no,
how you guys did that.
we were incredibly careful about that.
I guess so.
You know, I put the mask on. We would shoot the scene. I'd take it off and put it in the bag. You know, and then we go, okay, we're ready, we're all good, no paparazzi, blah 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 blah. Put the mask on, shoot the scene, take it off, put it in the bag. Like, we were really careful about not getting the look of that mask out.
Well, y'all did a good job on that for sure. I'm going to start taking some chat questions in a minute, but I definitely want to ask one of my favorite things about these recent movies, and you're wearing the shirt. And I didn't know you were going to wear the shirt, but the fact that you guys brought the Silver Shamrock masks into this version of canon, this Michael universe here. And I just love how they're used. I mean, it's subtle, especially in 18. It's like really subtle just for us, you know, hardcore fans. And then it's a little more prevalent in kills. But I love that. And by the way, I interviewed all three of those kids that wore them in kills. We had all three of them on at the time the movie came out. It was so cool. I called them the Silver Shamrock Trick or Treaters.
Right.
I mean, who else gets to go prank the Myers house and trick or treat in the Silver Shamrock masks? I mean,
amazing.
But I'm always curious. Like, at what point did like when was it first suggested that we need to bring these masks in? Like, when was that first voiced? How did that begin? And was there any hesitancy or whatever at any point, or was everybody just like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's throw them in there.
I don't really know. I mean, I know it came up in 2018, and it was a thing that it really wasn't a big deal. It wasn't. It was like, there's these trick or treaters, and they're running around, and wouldn't it be cool if they had Silver Shamrock masks on? And so I owned those three masks that we used in the movie. Those are my masks. And they were like, wouldn't it be cool if some of the trick or treaters had Silver Shamrock masks on? And I was like, well, I own those. I can have them sent out. Had them sent out, and we just, you know, it was we just put them on and shot it. You know, it wasn't really, there wasn't a whole lot of thought on. I mean, they had to get clearance for it. I know that, copyright clearance and stuff like that. But we just shot it. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of thought other than the clearance and stuff getting into it. Now, Halloween Kills, there was a little more thought to it. I mix up all three movies, to be honest with you, because there's so many versions of scripts that I read,
Yeah.
you know, and so many different things. I think it was Halloween Ends that was supposed to have, yeah, it was Halloween Ends. We were supposed to have a lot more Silver Shamrock in that movie. There was a whole storyline based on Silver Shamrock in Halloween Ends, and it was and part of the Silver Shamrock, the new Silver Shamrock mask was that scarecrow mask that Corey wears,
Mm-hmm.
the cat mask that
Oh my
that
God, over there.
that, that Allison wears, and the Wolfman mask that the little kid wears before he
Oh yeah.
falls down the stairs. Those were all supposed to be considered Silver Shamrock masks. And I had designed about, God, I think I designed about 10 new Silver Shamrock masks and that we were going to use for the movie in one version of the script where there was a Silver Shamrock factory was in the movie actually. And they were and Allison went to a store and there were Silver Shamrock masks and stuff, and that's where she got the cat mask and the scarecrow mask and stuff. It was supposed to be new Silver Shamrock masks, and then
Nice.
there was a version where at the end of Ends, you're in the Silver Shamrock factory and they're churning out Michael Myers masks and they're boxing them. And my buddy, actually, Sean Clark, was supposed to be cameo in that scene and packaging Mike Myers mask. And but for whatever reason, the script got changed and budgets and things like that. So we ended up not doing any of that. But Silver Shamrock had a big part in Halloween Ends actually at one point,
Oh man.
which was really cool, which I was excited about, you know. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what could have been? But you know, also too, there was a version of Halloween Kills that half the movie was 78. I read a script of Halloween Kills that half the movie was in 1978.
Oh wow.
And it was cool. It was so awesome. I mean, I couldn't be more excited about it. But because of budget restraints and how much it costs to make something look 1978 and stuff, they dwindled it down to what it ended up being is a flashback in Kills, which I'm super proud of. I love the flashback in Kills. I think it's awesome. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean one of the best sequences in all three of the movies for sure. I mean everybody loves that flashback. Just curious though, when it was going to be half the movie, like as far as story points, was it still going to be relatively the same story points, but just a more detailed
It went into
version, or
it went into more of the night of like younger Laurie and Hawkins.
okay.
Hawkins, the cop,
Yeah.
and their relationship. It went into that a lot and how
Okay.
they first met and like what their relationship was and Michael Myers doing things after he gets up after falling off the balcony.
Right.
A piece of what did he do after he got up and walked away.
Yeah.
While Laurie is dealing with the cops, which is Hawkins and stuff. It was really cool. I was as a Halloween fan, I was jacked, man. I was like, this is going to be awesome. But sadly, it did not come to fruition. So.
Well, at least we did get that awesome flashback sequence that we did get, though. At least we got that taste of it. And it's fascinating to hear what, like you said, what if, what could have been, and then also with Ends. And I remember you that reminds me that you posted a while back some of those masks that were going to be the Silver Shamrocks. You posted some of your art that were going to be and all the ones you said, and then there were some other ones on there too, I think. That again, as a big Halloween 3 fan, and just I love the Silver Shamrock masks in general. yeah, I think that you would have been just icing on top.
Yeah.
And even that last scene, because I had heard about that. I think David Gordon Green had said that there was a scripted scene that it was going to have that mask be the Michael mask. I mean, be a silver shamrock at the end. Which, again, maybe some people wouldn't have liked it, but I for one, if that had been, I mean, I do like the ending the way it ends. I mean, but if that had been like the final, even like the after the credits, oh my god, that would have just mind melted. But it is cool that in I guess in my canon anyway, hearing you say this, the Corey mask, the Allison mask, you can't see it, but I got the cat over there, I got the Scarecrow over here. Yeah, they're all silver shamrocks, and the Michael one, they're all silver shamrocks to me.
Yeah. Same here. To me, they're silver shamrocks. So
I love it. So there you go, everybody. They're silver shamrock masks. There you go. All right, let's turn over here to the live chat now, I think, if it's all right. And you guys can start sending in some of your questions if you would like. I know some of you have been sending them as I've been in conversation. Say what?
Is there anybody watching this, man?
There's a few people watching, a few people coming in, a few Haddonfielders, we'll say. Let's see. All right, we got first question from one of our members, Andromeda, says, if you weren't involved in the movie, who would you have rooted for to survive in ends, Michael or Laurie? So if you could somehow remove yourself and you were just watching it as a fan, who would you have rooted for to survive?
I would have rooted for both of them to die.
To die.
Yeah, both of them die. Mm-hmm. Which I thought when we did 2018, that's what was going to happen. I thought because, it wasn't 100% sure that we were going to do the kills and ends. You know what I mean? I mean, it was and it wasn't. It was talked about, but it wasn't set in stone. And I thought at the end, I always thought that they should have this. At the end of 2018, it should have been this wicked knife fight where they both cut each other up, just slice each other up and both bleed out and die. He walks off into the woods to that mannequin farm that she had, sits down and he bleeds out and dies. And she just sits down on her front porch or whatever it is and bleeds out and dies. That's the way I'd have ended it. Mm-hmm. I'd have just had them have this super badass wicked knife and they both die. That's what I do. But I'm not I'm not in charge of that shit.
No, that would have been a pretty badass way to go. And then they just cancel each other out. They can't exist in the same world.
Somebody else asked me how I would kill Michael Myers once years ago, and I said, you know how I'd kill him? I'd have him have a heart attack. And I'm not kidding you. Think about it. If he gets all sliced up and then he goes and sits, he has a fucking heart attack and just dies.
That would be shocking.
I would go awesome. I would be on board with that.
That would be a way to go. Yeah, I mean that would be shocking too. I mean,
Totally.
Yeah,
all right. Oh, he's human. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Not super.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right. That was a good one, Andromeda. All right, let's see who else we got in here. Oh man, let me. Chad says great mask for sure. Rob Windsor said the marketing department knew they had a winner with those masks. Greatest decision they ever made. Putting them on the poster, I think, is what he's talking about.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
Let's see. Who's got the next question? Mike Johnson says, without your help, the mask and the makeup, the trilogy would not have succeeded like it did. You were 100% a big reason for its success, Chris. All right, so
Oh,
not a question, but
thank you.
some
Thank you so
love.
much. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. It's nice of you to say.
Yeah, a lot of love for your work in here. The trilogy masks look great, but more importantly, because accurate to each film is what he says. More importantly, yeah, they look great, but more importantly, accurate to each film. That's from Chad. Nice.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay, Byron Weaver, one of our regular viewers here, he has a question. He says, "Was there any drafts of the Halloween Kills script where the Halloween '78 flashback was in the whole film instead of just the beginning of the movie?" Well, I guess you answered that. It was at the
Yeah.
most it was going to be half at one point.
Yeah, it was about half the movie. It was going to be in about half the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, which would have been, yeah. I mean, that would have been. Now, was it going to go back and forth, or
Yeah.
would it all just have been okay?
Yeah. It went back and forth based
Throughout.
on, again, Laurie and Hawkins' relationship, and then jump forward to now and their relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
their relationship with Michael Myers, and it just went back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see who else we got. Darlene says mostly 78 would have been cool for kills. Yeah, everybody loves that 78 footage. I mean, and how you guys recreated the Myers house, and
Yeah.
I've had Tom Jones Jr. on here talking about his Loomis. I mean, all of that was just unbelievable. And the fact that he was there building sets and built
Yeah.
the Myers house, and then there
All
he
right.
is. He's Loomis for a day. I mean,
That house was amazing. Yeah. I wish more people could have seen it and experienced it. It was amazing. It was down to the square inch perfect. It was incredible. And you just walk on that set and walk into the house. And you go, it wasn't just the outside, it was the inside too. You go inside and it was verbatim exactly the way it was in '78. And it was so thrilling. Like I was just losing my mind, geeking out over it so much, man. It was so great. And then, to have the '78 Myers and the Loomis and the house, and people were taking pictures, and it was just like we couldn't get it done because everyone was geeking out so much. It was so good.
Oh, I bet. I can imagine. And like you said, I mean, everybody we've talked to on these movies, they've all said similar stories that all of you guys, and not just the on screen or like the higher ups, but the crew, like everybody was like really into it and were
Yeah,
fans and grew up with these movies and really
yeah,
just wanted to give it their all, and
yeah,
were fans of
yeah,
the films,
yeah,
which is it again in a perfect world. I guess it would always be like that everybody that works on every film that they're actually fans of the stuff, but we know
yeah.
it's not always necessarily.
No,
Let's see. First last has a question for Christopher. There was a rumor that the remains of the meat grinder Myers was actually buried somewhere. Is that true?
you mean in the script context, or you mean the remains of the dummy that we ground up? I don't know what. Uh,
I don't
uh,
know. That
I
that might
have
be.
no. I not that I know of. Not that I know of. They're not the remains from their meat grinder. Not that I know of, but somebody could have taken all those remains and took them. I don't know what happened to them. They all went through the grinder and down into the bottom, and whatever after that, I don't know who took them. But they're somebody had to clean it up, and it wasn't
Some
me. So
somebody should have grabbed it, man. That's like collector's items. That's
no, you know what I do have though? I have the first ending that we shot when he was cremated.
yeah.
because we shot an ending. The first ending, it wasn't the meat grinder. She kills him. She slices his throat and slices his wrists, and he bleeds out and he dies. And then she takes him because there was a storyline that connected the mortuary in the script.
Oh, okay.
At one point in Halloween Ends, there was a mortuary character and there was a whole thing. And she and Hawkins takes his body to the mortuary and secretly cremates him. And we shot I made a dummy that we cremated. We put it in a cremation oven in a real mortuary. And we put it in the oven and we cooked it. And we burned it to ashes. I have those ashes. And it's in a box, in a cremation box. And it has a tag that says Michael Myers and it says time of death and everything. It has all that stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have those ashes.
That's
pretty cool, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Even though no one saw it, it's the original ending. And I own Michael Myers' ashes.
That's awesome. That's the coolest. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's a good takeaway from the set, I would think. Yes. That's a pretty good one. Now, Teen Wolf, another one of our regular viewers and friends here, she's got a good question, and I was actually gonna ask you about this. So, as I'm sure you've heard, the franchise, they're in development with a TV series now, apparently. Yeah. At least last we heard, and I haven't heard that anything's different. Now her question, she's asking, are you on board with the special effects on the series, like going to be working on the show? And I was going to ask that, but I'll start with that and say her question, have you gotten a call for this show? And then I'll follow that up with your thoughts on the idea that they're doing this series.
I haven't gotten the call. Okay. I've had a couple conversations with Malik.
Okay.
And he has expressed interest in having me involved. And I would like to be involved. I would certainly do it. If they called me and said, hey, it's a go and let's do it, I would totally do it. I think it sounds like a cool idea and would be fun, and I would like to do a series. I don't know much about it, and I've heard rumors and I've had conversations, but I can't really divulge anything. But I would totally be into it. I would totally be down, and I would love to be involved. So we'll see. It's the door is hopefully open, and discussions have been started. So we'll see.
I love it. All right. Well, that's a good answer. I think that's what we all wanted to hear. That's as good as we can get for now, anyway. That's yeah. That's definitely as good as we can get from now. Good question there. And again, I was going to bring that up anyway, so I'm glad we hit on that. Let's see who else. Rob Windsor, another one of our esteemed channel members. Let's see. Oh, I just scrolled past his question. Sorry, Rob. Let me go back up to that. Did they contact? Oh, it's the same question about the TV series. All right, we got that one answered. Yeah, I knew everybody would want me to ask about that. Tim Leo asks. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. Tim Leo asks, how long did it take you to create the mask?
Not very long. I did a couple digital designs, and then we transferred that into sculpture. And I think it took us. I thought it was going to take us forever. I thought we were going to get note after note after note after note. We did one version. We got some notes. We did the second version, and that was the mask they picked.
Oh, man.
So it wasn't very long. I think it took us about, I think it maybe took us about a month to get it ironed out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Shocked. I was shocked. I was shocked. But
like you
we,
said, you would
we
think
had
it.
we had tons of reference photos and tons of research and tons of exploration and tons of we geared up for it before we actually presented anything.
Mhm.
So we did our homework.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Let's see. Chad Francis agrees with you. He wanted both to die, but knew that probably wasn't going to happen, or actually thought that was going to happen. Yeah, I mean that could have been an epic ending. I could see that. Let's see, Mike Johnston. Out of all the Halloween movies on set that you worked on, Christopher, which one felt the most atmospheric in terms of the Halloween season vibes? That's a good question. I'm always talking about Halloween atmosphere in movies. I call it the Hallosphere sometimes.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Good question. I would say, I don't know. It's between 2018 and Kills.
Okay.
Kills, there was a pretty big Halloween vibe going on Kills. We shot a lot of residences and that were decorated with Halloween. We had a lot of trick or treaters and we had a lot of people in costumes and but we also did in 2018 too. So I don't know. They were all pretty vibey,
Yeah.
Halloween. They were all we wanted to make sure that there was a Halloween vibe with all three movies, and I feel like we accomplished that, I think. But the most, I would say Kills. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are those who disagree, but
Yeah. No, there's a lot of atmosphere in both of them for sure. And you could tell there was a noticeable, less atmosphere in ends because, of course, it's part of the story that the town, they haven't turned away
yeah,
from Halloween completely, but it's not what it was. And I kind of got that subtext that, they're not celebrating quite as lively as they were
right,
pre 2018.
right, exactly.
Patrick Ring, who you've been on his channel as well, he says had a blast with you on his podcast a few weeks ago.
Hi, Patrick.
Yep, he says, are you and Sean working on the next episode of
We
The Thing
are
with Two
about.
Heads?
Yeah, we're going to shoot a new episode of The Thing with Two Heads. Sean and I, we're going to shoot a new episode, I believe, Wednesday of this week.
Cool.
We're our schedules just have not been lining up, and I also had some, a lot of kind of personal stuff go down in the past couple months that has taken me out of doing the show and also kind of wanting to do the show. I don't want to go on the show and talk about downer stuff. My mother passed away and some other people I know passed away. And like, there was a flurry of kind of downer stuff. And I don't want to go on the show and just talk about downer stuff. Plus, I hadn't been seeing a lot of movies and work has been weird. And so it really hasn't lined up for me and Sean to do a show. But we are going to shoot a show on Wednesday of this week, which will probably be out, maybe the weekend or next week or something like that. And then I think we're going to do a Halloween show as well. We have some stuff to talk about. And I know Sean has lots to talk about because that guy is busy as hell and he's constantly doing a con or a signing or a something. He's always going to a concert. That guy's life, I mean, he's always doing something, man. It's amazing to me. I'm a lazy bitch, man. I like I like quiet. I like quiet. But yeah, we're gonna shoot a show this week, Sean and I. Yeah.
Cool. And sorry to hear about your mom, of course. And
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds good. We have a new episode to look forward to coming soon, guys.
That's right.
Yeah, we love listening to you guys. Let's see. Andromeda, another channel member, asked, "Do you have a favorite track from the Carpenter soundtrack?"
Any Carpenter soundtrack? Um, well,
They just
Halloween.
said from Carpenter soundtrack. Yeah, I guess we'll open it up to any Carpenter soundtrack.
I really love The Fog. I
Oh
think The
yeah,
Fog track is fantastic.
yeah,
And Escape from New York. I love Escape from New York.
yes,
I love all of John's stuff. You know, it's all super cool, especially like the Lost stuff or whatever the albums that he came out with with stuff that he wanted to put in movies but he didn't. What is it called? The
yeah. Oh, the Lost Themes. Yeah,
Lost Themes. I
yeah,
really liked some of that stuff. Is really cool. Um, I love all of John's stuff. He's that guy music wise. It's just so cool. I mean,
hmm
just to put it on and listen to it is it. I don't know. It screams of Halloween, even if it's not the Halloween soundtrack to me. And
Oh
it
yeah,
just of a time when movies were so cool and his soundtracks are so badass and that guy's just a badass. So I
he
love
is.
all of
Yeah, it's hard to pick a single favorite for me either. I love them
yeah
all so
yeah
much. The ones you named, The Fog and Escape, are great, of course, but yeah, it's impossible for me to like. It just depends on what mood I'm in any given minute of any given day, kind of, because I love them all
Christine
so much.
stuff. Christine has really amazing
Oh
music.
yeah,
There's so much. There's so much. It's all good.
and that was another just gift and treat that these three movies gave us that I think was just, you know, maybe the best decision of all with these movies was getting John, and
Yeah.
thankfully he said yes to
Ah,
come back and do these soundtracks. I think that just, I mean, and as you said, I mean, everybody's got opinions, but I haven't really heard any negative opinions when it comes to the soundtracks of these films.
yeah.
You can't
No,
argue
he
with
nailed
those,
it.
no matter
Nailed it.
what you think.
He nailed the new Halloween soundtracks. He
Yeah,
nailed it. Yeah.
yeah.
There's supposed to be a record coming out of all three
Oh, cool.
together. I think I can't remember, but we did a photo shoot of all of my masks, so that they were maybe hoping to do lenticular cover. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. But anyway, there's stuff coming. There's more coming, and
Nice.
uh, I don't know when, but there's more coming, and it's super cool, and you guys will dig it. So yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Love that. Can't wait. Um, let's see here. I'm just going through. Brett says, "Is there any film franchise you'd like to do next? Maybe Friday the 13th or Texas Chainsaw. They both have iconic masks as well."
yeah. Um, yeah, for sure, man. I would do it. I would do a Friday 13th in a second. I love Friday 13th. I would love a crack at Freddy Krueger. I would love a crack at doing that makeup. Um,
Oh
uh,
man, I would love to see what you would do
oh
with a
man,
Freddy Krueger
so
makeup.
many ideas.
Oh,
There's so many ideas.
wow.
But that would be super cool. Um, Texas Chainsaw, absolutely, sure. I don't know. It would depend on the script, though. You know, the script's got to be good. It's got to be cool. I don't know. I would so go old school with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I would. I think we need to go old school again, and I think with those franchises, and but using modern technology,
Mm-hmm.
but an old school look, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But um, yeah, man, I'll take a crack at any of them, man. Bring it on.
Bring it on. I love it. Love to hear it. Um, let's see here. That was a good question. Josh Baker Video says, "Chris, not Halloween related, but will you see the new Joker movie? Jokey
Yeah,
Folly, Folly,
I'll see
Duh."
it. I'm a little skeptical because it's a musical and I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
musical fan.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't gravitate towards musicals. Um, uh, and that kind of puts me off a little bit, but yes, I'll definitely see it for sure. I mean, I have to because I liked the first Joker. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I liked their take on it. So, yeah, for sure. I'll check it out. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel about the same. I'm questionably optimistic about it, you know. I mean, but like you, I like the first one. I like their take on it, you know, and so I'm gonna give it a go and check it out and everything, and yeah, you know, it looks good so far from what I've seen. So I'll be checking it out too. Let's see who else. Isaac Norman says, "Love Corey's scarecrow mask. How did you make it?"
how did we make it? Well, I designed it first digitally. Went through a lot of iterations of that scarecrow mask. David had a very specific idea of what he wanted, a very specific vision of what he wanted. David Gore Green did, and so I went through a lot of different designs, and then we landed on one. I finally did one that he was like, "That's it." So we sculpted it and molded it, and then we created. It's a vacuform mask, so we created a buck, and it's a vacuform, old school kind of Ben Cooper uh, vacuform mask, and I painted every single one of them. And I'm proud of that mask. I like
Yeah.
that mask. I think it's cool.
Oh, I do too. Was it? You said you went through a lot of different designs. Was it always going to be a scarecrow and a black cat?
There was always a scarecrow and a black cat, but we went back and forth about should they be full head masks,
Uh huh.
latex. So I did like latex mask designs, and then I did 3/4 latex mask designs, and then I did the Ben Cooper type design, and we landed on the Ben Cooper type design because, with the black cat, we wanted her to still look pretty, and we wanted her to look cool, and we wanted her to see her face, and her
Yeah.
smile. So there were reasons why we created it, and also the scarecrow. We wanted it to be neutral in a certain kind of way, and happy in a creepy way, so to
Yeah.
speak. Um, and so that's why we went through so many designs. But yeah, at one point they were going to be full latex masks, but then we were like, well, that's not really going to work within the context of the story and them being at the bar with a full latex mask and having to pull it off. And so it
Every
wasn't
time
going
to take a drink. And
to exactly. It just wasn't going to work. So
Mhm.
that's how we ended up doing the way we did it. Yeah.
Cool, cool. And I love the vintage Ben Cooper look
Yeah,
of them.
me too.
Yeah, as soon as I saw them in Inns, the first time I saw it in theater, but them wearing those masks, I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait till Trick or Treat Studios does those replicas so I can have them hanging on the wall because they are just
Yeah,
awesome.
awesome.
Let's see who else we got in here. The Asylum Beyond the Dead asks, "What is your favorite kill from 2018?" They say their favorite is when Michael killed the babysitter Vicky. Um, I'm gonna alter that a little bit and ask, "What's your favorite kill?" You've probably been asked before, but your favorite kill out of all three films, if there is one
Oh,
that you can pick.
I don't know. I mean, my favorite kill. I like the Sartain head stomp. I think that was cool.
Yeah.
I love the knife in the eye, in the guy's eye, and
Oh, and kills. Yeah.
Bulls. That was a tough gag to do, and I thought we executed it really well. You'd be surprised how we did that. Um, uh, I love that kill. I love when we gouged the guy's eyes out, and which one was that? That
Oh, in
was
Ends. Yeah, one of the Johns. One of
one
the
of the.
Johns in Ends. Yeah.
I like that kill. I liked uh, Oh God, they all bleed into each other.
No pun
So,
intended.
there's so many of them. I think those are my top three kills. I liked what we did with, even though you don't really see it on screen, um, was Tivoli jumping from
Oh
from the
yeah.
hospital, and the aftermath that you see of him. I thought
Yeah.
was really cool. It was a combination of practical and VFX, but we only VFXed out his arm and his leg, and then had fake arms and legs, brains and stuff. But I don't know. I like them all, man. A lot of hard work went into those kills. All the kills in the movies. We wanted them to be fun
Yeah.
and cool looking, and I'm happy with all of them.
And memorable and maybe even iconic, some of these for this franchise. And I think you mentioned, yeah, I think that counts as you picked at least one from each of the films. So that I guess that counts as your top one from each film. The
Yeah,
Sartain would probably be 2018, and you mentioned the eyeballs and ends and
yeah.
and um and kills the
Although
other
I
eye.
I really loved the. You didn't see it a whole lot in the movie, unfortunately, and there's a reason why. In 2018, when the guy gets impaled on the fence
Oh
with
yeah, yeah.
through his jaw sticking out of his mouth, that was an incredibly hard gag to do. A very hard gag, and it looked fantastic, I thought. But unfortunately, when we shot it, we were running out of time. The sun was coming up and it was raining, and we were over schedule, and we had to get like literally one shot of it and then wrap.
Oh
Like it
man.
like, hey, we got him ready. We took him, got him ready really quick, brought him back, put him on the fence, and rolled on it once, literally once. And then it was like, okay, that's a wrap. And we had to take him down. I was bummed about that. I'm bummed we didn't see more of that, because it was a beautiful makeup and it was a really cool gag. That a lot of work went into it. But oh well, such is life.
You can't fight the sun coming up, I guess. Sometimes, but you just gotta deal with what you got. But yeah, that's such a unique kill, that one. But that does explain why we don't see a little more of it, because you
Yeah,
think we might get just a tiny bit more of that one. But definitely a unique one that you want to stop and pause and be like, what
yeah,
the hell happened there?
totally.
Just gruesome. And some great behind the scenes photos of that. You've shared some, but of course
Yeah,
that behind the scenes book that's out now, the coffee
yeah,
table book that covers the whole trilogy. That is just, I mean, that is just a treasure trove of behind the scenes info and images. Like, I
yeah,
mean, this is more loaded than like any of the DVDs that they've put out
yeah.
for any of
It's a
these
great.
films. Maybe I
I'm
feel
really
like
proud of that book. It's a cool book. I'm really happy they came out with that. It's super cool.
oh, totally, yeah, just a great keepsake to celebrate these films.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Did Andromeda ask, did Jamie Lee get to physically go to the flashback set? And if so, how did she react? That's an interesting question, because
That
she
is an
wasn't in
interesting.
those scenes.
I don't know if she did. I didn't see her there when we were shooting on the flashback set.
Okay.
I never saw her there, but she might have come when I wasn't on set, because
Right.
sometimes I'm in the trailer, doing the makeup, or I'm prepping something for the next day or something. She might have come and checked it out. I don't know if she would have cared very much because she lived it. She
Yeah.
lived the original, so I don't know if she would have really cared very much. Jamie isn't the sentimental type, or not sentimental, but she's not the nostalgic type. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I don't know. She might have, but I wasn't there
Yeah.
and so to see her now.
Well, when we have her on here, at some point, we'll be sure to ask her that. You guys remind me to ask her that when we have her on here.
Exactly.
That's a good question. Um, let's see. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this one, but I know there's a lot of internet chatter about this one. Tim Leal would love for you to clarify. Did Michael say "give it back" when Karen takes his mask? Have you heard that rumor? I don't even feel
Oh,
like what constitutes a rumor, but yeah, a lot of people say they hear Michael whisper "give it back" when Karen takes his mask and
really funny.
kills.
I have never heard that. Uh, I, 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 I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I was there when that happened, and I didn't hear that. I don't know. Maybe, maybe, maybe.
So it is possible. It could have
It's
been
possible. It's
80
possible,
yard
but
in there underneath or something.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard it myself, but a lot of people swear they
It'd be
hear
pretty.
him whispering that.
It'd be pretty damn funny if he goes, "Give it back." That's really. I don't know why I find that really funny, but I find it
I
comic.
do too. I'm laughing just thinking about it right now. Kind
Better
of
if
makes me
he.
want to go back and watch it again now.
I know.
And listen again for it. Uh, but thank you for that, Tim. So there you go. It's possible. Anything's possible. Let's see. Um, yeah, I keep accidentally skipping over some people, but oh yeah, we're not going to be able to get to everybody, but we're going to try to get a couple more in.
Couple more.
Yeah, just a couple more, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Just a few. Let's see. Byron says, in your opinion, outside of Corey Cunningham, who do you think could be a potential antagonist? I guess he's speculating if they were to continue outside of Michael, maybe like who could be an antagonist?
Hmm. You mean somebody within the trilogy that we
I
did?
I think that's what he's asking. Yeah, like if they were
Uh,
to continue that story.
I would drop that
Yeah,
if it were me. I would drop that. I
let it
mean,
end where it ends.
let
And they
it
could.
end where it ends. You know, it's just I don't think you need a. I mean, if you were going to do that, it would have been Lori, right? But
Mm-hmm,
and have her go crazy.
mm-hmm,
But no, I don't know. I don't really have an answer to that one. I wouldn't do it. I just
yeah,
wouldn't have antagonist. I would just end it. Just be done with
yeah,
it.
yeah. Let's see. Let's see. We're gonna take like just a very few more. If I see a really good one in here, let's see if Michael throwing. Oh, they're talking about Michael whispering, throwing a tantrum about the mask. Um, um, some more love saying Chris Nelson did an amazing job with the makeup effects and Halloween Kills when Michael killed Cameron. Oh yeah, that's another good one. Oh man, that Cameron kill. That's probably one of my favorites. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Don Harrison asks, besides playing Michael in 2018, when I guess it was your hands,
Yeah, yeah.
did you play him at all in Kills or Ends in
No,
any scene? Okay,
no, I did not. No, I did not. Just only 2018.
okay, but that was enough to make you
That was enough.
one of the men who have played the shit.
I'm one of the Myers, even though I never get included in it.
You weren't included in the group photo op. I'm sure they had
No,
you.
I
Really,
was. No, no.
really,
Yeah,
you're one of them. I can't
I'm
believe
like
that.
now I'm probably considered the hardest to get now because I was actually in a movie and no one's acknowledging it. So your Myers signatures aren't complete until you get me.
They're not. Yeah, totally. They're not. Yeah. What are people thinking? Not including you. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you're absolutely one of the Myers, like you said, one of the Michaels.
That's right.
Let's yeah, a lot of talk about the whispering. Um, if that was my mask, I'd be pissed too. Yeah, well. Were there any drafts where Corey lived at the end of ends? That's a good one for ends.
Mm. Not that I recall.
Okay, so
Not
he
that
was
I.
always.
I think he always died. I could be wrong because my memory is really, really bad. um, but not that I recall. I think he always died. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Um, um, if you guys got something really good, I'll look over again in just a second. But I do want to ask you before we go,
Yeah.
just briefly about this. We got a press release today about this new Ice Nine Kills music
Yeah.
video that you were a part of, and it's for a song called "A Work of Art," and it's going to be featured on the Terrifier 3 soundtrack. And I know we got a ton of Terrifier 3 fans out there in our audience that are hyped for that, and so, I mean, just combining, I mean, I love Ice Nine Kills, Art the Clown, you. I'm reading this press release. And I'm like, oh man, this is like, how many of my favorite things can they throw in here? So, I can't wait to hear the song. Can't wait to see the video. What can you tell us just briefly about that project?
I can't tell you a whole lot,
Okay.
but I will say that Spencer Charnas is a really good friend of mine and a good buddy. Asked me to do the effects for the video. I didn't do the effects for the movie. That was somebody else. I wish I would have gotten the call to do that. I just did the effects for the video, and Spencer called me and asked me would I be interested in do would I do it, and of course he's being my buddy. I said yeah, let's do it and have some fun, and we went and shot it and had Art the Clown there and everything like that. And it was fun. We had a really good time. We did some gory stuff. It's a music video, and it's pretty hardcore for a music video. So we did a few gags, not as many as we wanted to because of time and budget restraints.
Yeah.
It is a music video; it's not a feature, so. But we did some really fun stuff and some really cool stuff, and we had a really great time. I had a blast doing it, and it's a good song too. It's like it's really catchy. Like after shooting the video, I had it in my head for like a week. I'm like, oh my god, I can't get this song out of my head. It's really catchy and really cool, and I like it. And I think they did an amazing job. Spencer and his band did an amazing job with the song, and they're such great guys. I just love those guys so much. They're so nice, and they're so professional and so cool, and I'm proud to be friends with them. And it was a treat to work on it and to be involved in it. And it comes out. I don't know when it comes out. You know better than me, but it's I'm excited for people to see it. It's cool. It's fun. And if you're an Ice Nine Kills fan, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. So
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I can't wait. I'm definitely a fan. And yeah, the release today said they're going to premiere it. I guess when they premiere the movie this Thursday, and then I'm guessing or assuming it's going to be streaming or online pretty soon after that. I would think.
yeah.
So we'll have all the details for you at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Don't worry, we'll have it up there as soon as it's available. Keep watching. But yeah, we're super stoked for that one. I'm going to look over here one more time to see if there's a super great must ask question to close us out in here. If anybody dropped us a Pulitzer Prize winning inquiry here. Um, yeah, a lot of love for you and your work.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
all right. Well, I guess this is probably a good one to wrap it up because I mean we do like to. I mean it's Michael Myers Monday and all things are Michael Myers, but this you're an inspiration to a lot of people and not just in makeup effects. I mean, there's that, but like we were talking about earlier, just you getting that guidance counselor saying, no, you can't do that for a living, and you being like, yeah, watch me, and doing it anyway, and here you are, like you said, you've won the Oscars and the Emmys, and but for you, it was standing at Universal, looking up there, seeing your Universal monster mask in a way, because Michael,
Yeah.
I count him
Yeah.
as one of the Universal monsters nowadays.
I
Um,
agree.
so, so Brett has a question. What advice would you give someone who would like to get into the special effects work that you do? At your
Hmm.
with your experience, what would you tell somebody trying to get into this?
I would say practice, 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 practice. I can't stress enough how much you have to work and get better and sculpt and sculpt and sculpt and make molds and learn all these things. Go to school if you need to. Take online courses. The Stan Winston course is great. The Dick Smith course is great. Um, uh, uh, just do it is my advice. Do it and do it all the time. When I was learning and I was learning how to do makeup and things, I wasn't, I wasn't I wasn't very social and stuff like that. I just sat in my room and listened to heavy metal music and practice. You have to make a lot of sacrifices to get good. And that's my second part of advice is get really good, man. Just get really good and network and talk to people and meet people and get out there and do short films and get out there and do low budget movies and get out there and do low budget horror movies and network and um, meet people and keep working at it and you'll do it. You can do it. There's no reason why you can't. um, I know I have a friend of mine who is older and who wanted a career change, and she went to school and studied, and now she's a makeup artist,
Nice.
and she's older,
Hmm.
and not old, but older.
Yeah.
It's never too late to make a change and to start a new career or start a new hobby or to start a new. But you got to love it too. Make
Yeah.
sure that you love it and even if nothing comes of it, you could still do it. It's always funny to me that people that want to do makeup effects, they always think that it's got to lead to something. It doesn't. You could just do it for fun. You can do it for
Hmm.
Halloween. You can do it, make masks for yourself. You can make masks for other people. You can do makeups on other people for Halloween. There's so many ways you can go. But my biggest advice is just do it. Learn,
Yeah.
learn as much as you can, and get really good, and meet other people that are into it as well, and network. That's all I gotta say. I mean, that's how you do it, man. And love what you do. So put all your heart into it, and it'll happen.
There you go. There you go. Advice from a master there. Man, well, this has been awesome and amazing. And I know I speak for our audience and everybody watching live and everybody that's going to, even more people that are going to watch this later on after the fact, that we just can't thank you enough for taking the time and hanging out. We've been trying to do this for a while, and I'm so glad we were able to do it tonight. I think everything's meant to be for a reason, and this was the way it was supposed to be tonight. And I really appreciate you being here and doing this. And Andromeda just dropped us a $5 super chat. Says thanks for doing this show on my rare Monday night off. Love you forever, Christopher. So there you go. See, you're making everybody's night tonight, man. Um, this
For
is
having
this has been great.
I had a great time, and thank you for having me. And keep up all your good work, man. Keep up the channel. Keep up what you do. People dig it. People love it. It makes people happy. Everybody out there, be kind to each other. Be cool to each other, man. Life's too short to be anything otherwise. So be cool. Support Matt. Support this channel. Be all good, man.
Awesome, awesome, and I'm sure we'll do it again at some point. But if I don't talk to you before this Halloween, absolutely have just a wonderful season, and of course, happy Halloween.
Thank you, sir. Happy Halloween to you too.
Awesome. All right, everybody, give me 1 minute, and I'll be right back with you live here to wrap everything up. All right, we are back live here. Give it up for our special guest this evening, Mr. Christopher Nelson. Was that an amazing time or what, everybody? I mean, come on. Oscar winner in the house. I mean, that was great. Just so many cool stories, so many cool insights. Um, Look, apologize to anybody whose question I didn't get to. I think we got to most of you guys, but I know there were a few that we didn't have time to get to. Appreciate you on the super chat, and of course, think about becoming a channel member if you're not already. Also, apologize. We're not going to do shout outs tonight or a new poll or any of that stuff because I got to get out of here because I've got a junket interview first thing in the morning tomorrow. So I've got to go try to get a little bit of rest before that. But I cannot thank you all enough for hanging out with me tonight. This has been a blast. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming live streams. You never know when we might have another massive, major special guest joining us like we did tonight. Planning to be live again next Monday. Who will be joining us then? I don't know. You're going to have to stay tuned and find out. But this has been awesome. You guys have been great. I do appreciate all of you contributing your questions tonight. There were some really good ones in there. And again, apologies if I didn't get to yours. But there's always next time, and we're going to be here for it. As we said, it's our time, guys. It's Halloween time officially. So enjoy it, make the most of it, and we will definitely see you soon. In the meantime, you guys keep it killer. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching, for hanging out, for your support, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night.